Sit down, please. Everyone, sit down. Mosul. Mataji, come this way. Sit here. Sit there. Change. Everybody can sit. Mataji. This way. Let me change. नीचे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Jai, Hari Bol. Welcome to Radha Govinda Temple, Hare Krishna. This is the first temple established by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada personally installed the two deities, Radha Govinda and Jagannath. Actually, my Guru Maharaj used to say that Srila Prabhupada wanted the Calcutta Ratha Yatra to be the biggest in the whole world. And right now, I think it's besides Jagannath Puri, because Jagannath Puri, so many people are attending the Ratha Yatra. But at this point of time, 25 lakhs, 2.5 million people attending the Ratha Yatra festival. It's a very long routing. This is amazing. I've been many times in this Ratha Yatra. The entire routing is like full of people from every balcony, everyone waiting for Jagannath. So much love they have for Jagannath in this town. I remember one time, one small lila, which I remember of one Ratha Yatra, that I was, Guru Maharaj was sitting in the Rath of Jagannath with a pile of bananas. They were all offered to Jagannath, and to every person we threw one banana. They so much eager to give banana. So from the buildings, he started throwing people in the balcony to the first floor, then to the second floor, then to the third floor, and then to the fourth floor, and then to the fifth floor. The bananas were going to the fourth floor, then to the third floor. So the people asking for the Mahaprashadas, he said, Marichi, he said, you reach there. So I took one banana, so with all my strength, and the banana go to the fifth floor and broke the glass. And then everyone was so happy actually. They said, oh, well, they were so happy that now with all the banana Mahaprasada, they have distributed little Mahaprasada to everyone. This is the love they have for Jagannath Mahaprasada. Hari Bol. Anyway, I would like Balak Parthasarathi Prabhu to say a few words on behalf of the temple management here. Prabhu, please. Come. Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. We like to welcome all the Sadhu devotees, Shishma Jagadasan Guru Maharaj, Shishma Bhakti Nishimur Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Guru Nishimur Swami Maharaj, Ishwari Bhakti Nishimur Swami Maharaj, and all other Prabhupada disciples. We are like to welcome in Kolkata Prabhupada Basket, the first temple Sri Prabhupada. We want to like to welcome everybody by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So now we are requesting Maharaj, this one is Bhakti Maharaj, this is Maharaj, to speak some first answers we put
Om Gyanatmanandasya Jananjanashtakaya Tatsubrahmanitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura-Bhakta Hare I came to India in 1975. Initially I was over in Delhi. At that time we were worshipping Radha Parthasarathi in a place called Bengali Market. In Bengali Market, there's a small house there we rented. It was before other places. we were only 6 or 8 devotees. What happened though, I came in the summertime, coming from the UK, I was not used to the heat, and I got jaundice. So Gopal Krishna, at that time he was not yet a Maharaj, Gopal Krishna told me, he said, go to Calcutta, he said you get better prasadam there. So he sent me to Calcutta, and I got my health back, and I was able to stay longer in India. And I came to Calcutta. Very nice, the temple, the deities, everything. Temple's been renovated a lot. And, if you've seen it in those days, it was very basic. We were renting the property, and now we've purchased it. At that time, there was some company who was operating on the other half of the building. Nowadays, that other half of the building is closed up. They're not using it. Anyway, there used to be a big stairs coming up to both sides, and they divided the stairs. There's only half the staircase open now. And over the years, Bhakti Swami came in and he brought one of his men from his team, and we used to have a little doorway here, and the temple was closed. There was a little door, so they opened this whole area, and they put in these pillars here, and generally what they put in the windows also here used to be just some steel framing. We did a lot of renovation, really beautified the place a lot, and you can see nowadays it's really very nice. And they did a lot of it. If you've seen it in those days, it was very basic. So I was here in 1970s, I said 75, I came here, and then there was, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister at that time, and she declared 1,000 rupee notes not legal anymore, so that was a big problem, So there was curfew, and there was a lot of martial order, military control. People weren't allowed to be out at night and so on. So it was very difficult to make life members. We were struggling to maintain the temple, We were new in India, and people didn't really, we didn't have hardly any Indian devotees. All the devotees, we were all foreigners. Prabhupada came to the UK, and he saw how in London we had many young men, British men. He said, send them to India. We'll use them in India. Because at that time, we could come to India, we didn't even need a visa, and we could come and stay indefinitely. So Prabhupada saw all the young men there in London. He said, send them to India, and they'll help us in the preaching. So many of us were British here, and we were beginning the centers. Initially we had, this was one of the first centers. This was before Vrindavan. Mayapur, there was only a few devotees, and the Lotus building was there, nothing else. The Lotus building had been opened, but nothing else was there. And Mayapur was quite austere. And so people would come to Calcutta just to relax. It was better for them. Anyway, we were preaching here gradually. Now you can see many young men, young Indian men have come, and they've taken over everything, taken over all the management, which was expected, We certainly want the local people to take up the lead and organize everything. And they're doing much better than we could have done, than we were doing. We were just foreigners, and we didn't really know so much. But we were trying, and we would go out and make life members every day, gradually build up the membership. And whenever Prabhupada would come to Mayapur, he would always come to Calcutta first. Before he would go out to Mayapur, he would always come to Calcutta and he'd stay a couple of days, and we would bring the public to meet him. And often Prabhupada would sit out on the veranda and give class in the evening. He usually give Bengali class. Bengali. So naturally people want to hear Bengali. They would give Bengali class. And during the daytime, Prabhupada would take his massage. We had a veranda here, on the open veranda out there. Now it's all covered up. But it used to be an open veranda, and Prabhupada would go out there in the morning and have his massage there in the morning. So Prabhupada liked very much the deities here. He always was grateful to, at that time, Narayani was here, and she was with her husband Purna Pragna at that time, and they were serving the deities. And they were doing very nicely, and Prabhupada appreciated very much how nicely the deities have been decorated. Prabhupada was always checking on us, what we were doing, and making sure we were keeping the program. Prabhupada's Vyasasana was here at this place, because this was closed up. So the Vyasasana was here, and Prabhupada would sit there and see the deities. We would offer the Guru Puja to him in the morning. Like that, Prabhupada would come and give class morning, give class again in the evening. We'd meet light members, different light members would come to meet them. We'd ask them, what is your business? And like to speak. One time, I remember, we went with Prabhupada, it was 1976. We went to the Radha Govinda temple. Not this one, this is Radha Govinda, but there's another Radha Govinda temple on MG Road, Mahatma Gandhi Road. And that Prabhupada used to go there as a young man, as a young boy. His father used to take him there. So we went there one night with Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted to go there and see the deities. He gave a talk. That night he spoke in English to us. He said, I'm speaking English because my disciples. He said, I'm speaking to my disciples. We were all from the West. So like that, Prabhupada, he went to the Radha Govinda temple, saw the deities, he told us about how he used to come there as a young boy. His father would bring him. He liked to see the deities there. So Prabhupada was always concerned to see the preaching develop here, naturally in Calcutta. It's his hometown. He had us publish Gita Gyan. The Gita Gyan. Prabhupada wrote Gita Gyan, a poetic version of Bhagavad Gita in Bengali. And we were distributing 1 rupee. Ek taka, right? We were distributing, that was the price of the book. It was practically the only book we had. And the devotee would go out with the books, we'd give 1 book out to everybody, and then he'd talk to everyone a little bit, and speak to them, we have our temple, everyone should give 1 rupee for the book. Practically everybody would give 1 rupee. But one time he sold 30, 40 books. So that was nice. That was our book distribution beginning here in Calcutta. So Prabhupada had written several books in Bengali, articles in Bengali. Later on they were translated and published. So Prabhupada liked to see preaching, liked to see the more and more people coming. He could understand, would take some time. In the beginning, we were very new, and we were Westerners. We didn't speak the local language. We didn't have books. We didn't have a lot of things to offer people. But somehow, we were asking people, please become a light member. And so, somehow, gradually, things went on. many devotees were quite expert, like Garga Muni. He was a Swami at that time. Now he lives in Vrindavan. He was here. And then Giriraj, as a brahmachari, he was also here. And he was making life members here. Of course, Giriraj went also to Chennai, and he was more in Mumbai there making, but he was also here in Calcutta. And Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he was the temple president for some time, but he didn't have such a good relationship with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Tamal Krishna Maharaj would come and take him out. He didn't have it. No, we don't want Jayapataka to be in charge. And he'd put somebody else, Tamal would put somebody else in, and then Prabhupada would come and put Jayapataka Maharaj back in charge. And this happened several times. Each time Tamal Krishna Maharaj would take out Jayapataka, and Prabhupada would come and put him back in charge again.
11 times. 1 year, 11 times. Through the country going, still are going.
In a year, 11 times. Yeah.
Well, that was before Jayapataka went to Mayapur. So you can, it was early 1970s. Right? We've been in this place, was it 1971? Yeah, about 71. I came to India 75. At that time, temple president was, well, there was a devotee called Bhagava. He was the temple president. He had to leave. And then Sridhar, the late Sridhar Swami, he was in charge. He was the temple president for some time. And then after that, then Abhirama Prabhu came. And Abhirama Prabhu came. You know, when Prabhupada came, we only had one bathroom here at that time. There was only one bathroom. And there was, Narayani was staying here. We'd have to make some time for Narayani so she could use the bathroom to shower. And when Prabhupada came, we gave Prabhupada the bathroom. We all went, we bathed in the lake over the road. And we were bathing in the lake every morning and evening. So this was the situation in the beginning of temple was Prabhu knows, Bhagavad-Amrita Prabhu knows. He's from that time. So, you know, we were doing things like that. It was quite austere. But we were all blissful. We were happy. We were enjoying. We had to watch the crows. Whenever we would serve prasadam in the morning, the crows would all come. And the crows wanted to eat prasadam, and we had open grills there. It wasn't a window here. There was no window. It was just open grill. So the crows like to come. They like to take chapatis and stuff. So it was very interesting. One thing that happened was Prabhupada would check out the offering, and one day he wanted the fruit offering. So in the afternoon, every afternoon, the temples, you know, we offer fruit. 4:30, we make the fruit offering. And so Prabhupada said, bring me fruits, I want to see what you're offering to the deity. So they brought the maha and gave it to Srila Prabhupada. And then Srila Prabhupada said, who has purchased this fruit? So the devotee said, well, it was purchased by Devu Prabhu. Devu was a local man who was coming to temple, and he was about 30 years old at the time, and he was doing nice service. He was, because he was a local man, he was given the job to buy the fruit. Because he could speak the language, so he thought he would get a better price in the market. So he bought the fruit, and Prabhupada said, tell him to come and see me. So he told Devu, Prabhupada wants to see you. So Devu went into Prabhupada's room. Prabhupada's room was just here. He was staying here in this room. Just, you can see it's a small room. and then attached to the toilet. It was attached to the bathroom. From his room, he could go directly to the bathroom. So he was staying there. And so Debu and he went into Prabhupada's room, and Prabhupada said to him, "You're Bengali, you don't know how to buy fruit? Bengalis, you should know how to buy fruit for Krishna." Now if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can read there of Raghava Pandit, how particular he was to offer things to Krishna. To get the best coconuts, he would travel very far to go and bring the best coconuts to offer to the deities. And Prabhupada writes here in the purpose, he said, when we offer to Krishna, we must offer the best to Krishna. You should not think, oh, I would save money, I would just give this and buy cheap stuff. He said, you cannot do like that. You're serving the Supreme Lord. You have to offer the best to Him. And we should be willing to spend our money for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada was instructing us in this way, how we should take care to serve the deities nicely and offer the best to them. And of course here in Calcutta, you can get very nice flowers, nice variety, fragrant flowers. So temple worship, we get so many fruits and varieties of vegetables. You know, in Delhi, I was in Delhi in the summer, you only have chitta sabji. You know, so that's Gopal Krishna told me. He said, go to Calcutta, you get nice prasadam. So I came there, and even to today, you get very nice prasadam in Calcutta. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Bani Pracharine Nirvisisi Sonavali Paskata. So this is our beautiful Calcutta temple, and it becomes beautiful day by day, year by year, because it wasn't all decorated like this at the beginning, and it was different. Anyway, Calcutta was the first temple I came in India. We came Mayapur, Vrindavan. From Vrindavan was not festival anymore. We came like 9 or 10 of us. We came by train, and we come Howrah station. We took taxi, and we came through the Bhat Pasar or Bora Pasar. At the time there was no flyovers, and they building the flyovers. Everything was so convoluted with stacks of concrete and stacks of cement and dust everywhere. And my first impression of Calcutta, well, I was protected in the car, you know. I was looking outside the window, and I see going to Orvas, all these little lights, these vendors. They're selling peanuts, they're selling puri or whatever. They sell all kind of things. They have this kerosene lamp high, and there's a light in the top, you know, a flame. There was no, battery type of thing at that time. So, and then there was load shedding. So there was no electricity anywhere, all dark. All these little lights, all the dust, the cars going back and forth, and the thing was so convoluted, the road. And my first impression of Calcutta at that time was, oh my God, they bombed this place. As a kid, and it was like, you know, Bangladesh war was like 5 years before that time. So it was my first impression of Calcutta. But that's a city that you learn to love, because besides being in this year, and Prabhupada this was very dear to Srila Prabhupada. It's a city that we learn to navigate through all proper scheduling, proper way of transporting yourself around, you learn to love the city. You learn to the flow of the city so you can move around without too much pain. So this is my impression of Calcutta. So I stayed right here. When we came in, we sat right here. All of us was only private in the streets. And I think we moved from something. So when the Pujari was here, gave a little shopping. We slept. Next morning, we took the car to Mayapur. This time was not festival time. That was it. You bought it, you got it. So there was, I went to Mayapur from here. And of course, in the daytime, the impression was a little different than the nighttime. So there is also an instance, there used to be a light, some light outside here in the street. I don't know, some fancy light or something, maybe the government put it there. So what happened is, some guy during the night, whatever they can take it, they would take it, right? So the guy crawled the pole and he tried to get the light out, but I don't think it was grounded properly. He got zapped. He got completely zapped, that living entity. And in the morning time, we see the guy with the hands like this, and we called the authorities, this guy here. So they took him out. It was like they told him it was like a paperweight. Just take him out. I think all the water was completely disappeared from his body. So those things that you see, there was a lesson in India. To be careful what you do, because here's no safety net. You trust Krishna and trust your instincts, and don't go too much out of the reservation. You see, be careful what you're doing here. So, and I just want to glorify Radha. They were so beautiful. Jagannath. I drove Jagannath car many times. So much memories. Driving Jagannath car in Calcutta is a specific dynamic, because you have to have more than two eyes. One eye left, one eye in the right. You have to keep aware of what's going on in the back wheels, looking forward at the same time, and all the frenzy of the people that, when I get close to Jagannath, the main thing, people try to get them away from the wheels. But people sometimes, they're so enthusiastic, they don't see the wheels, they don't see anything. They see Jagannath, this is a dangerous proposition sometimes. Anyway, that was, and so you kind of pay good attention of what's going on around. You drive Jagannath. And one last Calcutta pastime with the Rath Yatra. I don't know if it was the first Rath Yatra in Calcutta. It was my first Rath Yatra here, just newbie. So the cart was here outside, in the road here. So they have a beautiful cart, everything beautiful, right? They're ready to be pulled. And it was, in my view, it was like millions of people. There were thousands, the road completely full of people. They want to see that car, and they want to see the road. They want to see the push, the first movement of the car. They want to see the car moving along, and there was so much energy that, something happened to the axle of the car. The front axle completely broke. The wheels completely went buckled. Something happened. Something was not calculated properly. You couldn't move the car. You couldn't fix. And I was completely embarrassed. How are we going to fix thousands of people? They want to see the Jagannath grow. I said, this how can only a miracle? I was like, no, oh my God, please, Lord, please. You know, so somehow, what they have is right in front of the deity, see Jagannath, Baladeva, Subhadra, right in front, there's a little patamar or a little edge in there. So the volume in there, you know, is some kind of pig's echo, some big bang, 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 right? They just dig a hole in the floor, and they got a tow truck to pull the wire through that hole to hook the X, not the bar, under the car, and pull the thing off completely. Okay? So the tow truck then was pulling the rough car, so what he did is just cover the flowers, the tow truck. You don't even see the tow truck anymore. It was a little window so that the driver could see where it was going. He fixed it. You know? Jagannath way, you know, he fixed it. We got on the road. You know, some part of that, moving along. It was a real fun experience. And, you know, then once the car moved, what happened was they pulled in the tow truck, and the tow truck pulling the Ratha Yatra. It was an amazing experience. But it was a close call. It was a close call, boy. If you cannot move that car, I don't know what would happen. Anyway, there was so much anxiety, and it was worthwhile. Okay, that was the pastimes of Jagannath in here. And Calcutta is a place of amazing pastimes. If you go out to preach, you're going to see much more pastimes in here that you cannot believe it. Here is the place. You can preach in Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, Tamil, and all kinds of languages, all kinds of people. You know, it's amazing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so here in this temple, we have the next building. This is the place where we're going to have our dinner prasada soon. In about 10-15 minutes. The prasada is ready actually, but we want to devotees to have darshan of the room of Srila Prabhupada, which is here, on this floor. Prabhupada's room where he used to sleep. And very special place. The temple place can also send used to sleep there. I remember. I remember when I came here for the first time, also another story, from 1989, and then this temple very open, always was very friendly to receive devotees coming from overseas, because we don't know at that time. You coming to India, arriving in Calcutta, and very difficult to go straight to Mayapur. You don't know even how to go to Mayapur. So the temple here, we arrange some buses to take the devotee to the Mayapur festival in the morning. So they will let the devotees stay. We can stay here, because now there is some renovation. The son of Srila Prabhupada was here. So now they open here. So this was a big corridor, and we all used to sleep here in this corridor. In 1999. So if you also sleep, I am sure from many devotees they slept here in this corridor. I came in 1989. I came again to India in 1991 and 92 to live in India. This is when I came to live in Mayapur. And then I remember, I cannot speak English when I came to India. I don't know even one word in English. It was very hard time for me. But I remember the temple president from 1989. His name was Adri Dharam Prabhu. Adri Dharam Prabhu. So, after Mangalarti, we were here. I was chanting japa, and he came out from his room. And so many people were there. He saw me, he approached, I kind of recognized me, and I said, Hare Krishna Prabhu, who are you? So he has talked now, he's a big man, the temple president of Calcutta Temple, and I asked him, who are you? And he said, he has talked and said, I am Adri Dharam Prabhu, the temple president. Then I realized my mistake. I wanted to ask, how are you? So the shock of his life, right? He's the temple president here. And someone copied and he said, who are you? He was like, so embarrassing, For me, learning English, I had two very big embarrassment in the beginning, Another was also, the same year, because I immediately started serving my Guru Maharaj, and all the sannyasis you can see in Mayapur, I am around him. So there is another sannyasi very famous in ISKCON. At that time, his name is His Holiness Harikesh Swami. He very difficult to approach him. He has so many disciples, he always in his room. The disciples have a lot of respect for him, so much distance. And walking like a demigod, very respected sannyasi. He was in the temple having the darshan of Radha Madhava, and he approached me and asked me, he said, can you please give a message to Jayapataka Swami? He said, no. Sorry. He asked me, do you know where is Jayapataka Swami? Okay. And I say no. So his face can change, he can be more white. He's white already. So he looked at me, he left. Anyway, in the night he went to take dinner with Guru Maharaj in the Lotus building. So he was, and then they were talking about this. Guru Maharaj told me, he said, today, Harikesh Swami approached you, and then he asked you if he can give a message to me, and you say no. You say, I understood, I know where is him, and nobody in his life told him no to Harikesh Swami. People will be dying to do that service with him. And so he said, he can know in my own face, he was really like he couldn't tolerate it. He couldn't understand it. And he said, no, this is marriage, you don't know any English, very Spanish. Anyway, they están laughing here at the school. So many things, probably you happen the same. Now we come to India, we cannot speak any English. So I learned English in Mayapur. That's how I learned, the hard way. No teacher, we have to learn very slow. So many leaders happen. Everybody have leaders coming to India. Kapita Prabhu, so many.
One time, Prabhupada was here in Mayapur. So he came, before the festival, the boys are not there yet, so things are not full. So we came from the TSTP, Mayapur Travel Syndicate Party. So my colleagues, they want to do something else, but I said, no, Prabhupada's here, I want to go and get some association. So I went to Prabhupada's room in Mayapur. It was in the evening time. It was already dark. So Prabhupada was sitting there in his galley, right, in his room. And there was, I think there was Gagamuni there. And Gagamuni, he said, Prabhupada, this is Bhagavatamrita. He's a good book distributor here, a topper. And Prabhupada, he looked at me and he said, do you speak Bengali? I said, I couldn't understand the question, so I said no. And he could say I didn't speak English much either. I was a little bit like Marichi, or Aruti. And Prabhupada was like, I could see, how does he do it? So that was a little pastime there. Hare Krishna, so Prabhupada King.
So I heard from Maharaj the equation between Guru Maharaj and Tamil Krishna Maharaj. But then I also learned later on they become very close. So how the transformation happened over a period of time?
So that's how it happened. It took time. Over time, they got this way. That I know if I'm having problems, I can just go to Mayapur and take shelter or general. We appreciate it how much so well known.
Okay, I know the devotees are very interested. Today we have been all day out, so there is some water here, some fresh water. Anybody miss water? Behind, okay, here, there's some water here. Very cooling water, very nice, eh? Tata copper. Okay. So the program here, we're going to get dinner. This is a big temple. I can predict that the devotees is going to spread around a little bit because they have a restaurant down there. They have, this certificate. We have to go to the next building. Even myself, how to go to the next building how to go to the next building? No, I know next building. How to go to the staircase, and then you have to go out. Okay. Okay, Maharaj will lead the way. So what we're going to do now is just for you to, who didn't take darshan of Prabhupada's room? Okay, so basically we're going to take the darshan of Prabhupada's room. We leave like 2-3 minutes to pay our obeisances there, take the darshan, and then we're going to go to the next building for prasadam. So we're going to get ready to take prasadam. We don't want to sleep too late today. Try to arrive early as possible to the hotel. In the hotel still, because we have dinner here, they wanted to give something to the devotees. There will be some meal. If you want to take a bit of meal just before sleeping, you can have in serving the hotel, okay? But your dinner you will have it here. And tomorrow, remember, tomorrow we try to keep it on our schedule, to go to Panihati Dham. by 6 o'clock. So the devotees got a bit confused in the morning because the two buses were in one place. So then we sent one bus to another hotel, so they didn't know whether to walk to the white bus or to the other, they had to go to the green bus. You see, you can, or more or less, we are half and half in each hotel, so we're going to request one bus there in the Lakeview, another bus in the Bliss Hotel, and then we travel like this to Panihati. Okay? I think this will be okay. Yes, so in Panihati, just I can mention the schedule. We're going to, because nothing is so close in Kolkata. I'm going to go from New Town to Panihati, may take 1 hour and a half. Okay, we have to reach there. We're going to reach there by 7:30. We have an Eastern temple, so we're going to have darshan of the deities. We're going to hear the leelas of the Panihati Dam. We're going to have breakfast there. The devotees have arranged a special breakfast, traditional how they offer in the Chirolahi festival, in Panihati festival. So this is, we have this special blessing. The deity will be very happy because this offering, they like it very much. They have two kind of a sweet kind of chira, they offer to the Lord. And then that will be Mahaprasada. They have some other kind of chira. Chira, is the cheapest rice in India. This is the Panihati festival, the flat rice. In South America, by coming from South America, we never have seen this rice in our life. We don't know how it is. This is very special, flat. It's so thin that no need cooking. Basically, you just soak it in water and it's already will be ready to offer. It's like that. So we're going to have this special breakfast tomorrow. We have the darshan. They have the house of Raghav Pandit. They have the asana of the Lord Nityananda, the place where Raghunath Pandit got chastised, not how to say, yes, chastised, he got chastised that he had to, do this festival by Lord Nityananda. We're going to visit these places which are very close by. By 11 o'clock, we plan to finish, so we spend on this 3 hours, 3.5 hours there in Panihati Dham. And then we're going to go to another place which is close by. It's only 20-minute drive. It's called Jagannath Bari. Jagannath Bari also started as a small Namakata center, but now there are 200 devotees there. They want to, have the blessings of the safari, of the sannyasis coming there, because they've been the past few months making a new altar for Jagannath. So they want to inaugurate a new altar. So we're going there just to have darshan of Jagannath. By that time will be lunchtime already. So we're going to have lunch there. And then from there, before we go into the hotel, we're going to go to the very holy place of the Bhaktivinoda Ashram. That this is the place that we've been talking about today and yesterday, the holy place where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur instructed Srila Prabhupada, the place that Prabhupada met him actually in this place. This is Bhaktivinoda Ashram.
Yes. Bhaktivinoda Ashram here.
Same place, Yes, it is also called Ultadanga. Ultadanga is the name of the place.
Name of the area.
The place Ultadanga, and the name of the building is Bhaktivinoda Ashram. This is the resort beautifully, done. This place has become a kind of a, I don't know how you call it, heritage place. Of Calcutta, heritage place, that we can come and remember Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. You will be transported to that time. This is amazing. So this is what the program tomorrow. And the after tomorrow we are around nearby the hotel because we have the Vaishnava Sangha. We will send the poster to you. The auditorium will be full. 3,000 devotees, even more devotees wanted to come. Already is already fully booked. Devotees, they will be there. 3,000 devotees already booked. It's in auditorium, the biggest auditorium they have in this area, in Newtown, in the area where we have the hotel on the 15th. What are we going to do? We're going to do a lot of things. Since you want to know details, you see, we have two sessions. We have a morning session and an afternoon session. There, we have devotees, these 3,000 devotees want to hear about Prabhupada. They want to hear about the sannyasis. Will be slots. Will be one slot for His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj. Another slot will be for His Grace Bhagavatamrita Prabhu. Haribol! For the program schedule. Okay. You see, basically, this is right after breakfast. We're going to have breakfast there by the auditorium. The auditorium, by the way, is very close to the hotel. It's very close. Okay, 5 minutes drive. This is very close, actually. 5 minutes away by car. So we have 10 to 10:30 we make some bhajans for starting the program Kirtan. Then 10:30 to 11 o'clock will be the welcome speech by His Grace Radha Raman Prabhu, who is actually one of the main leaders here in Kolkata, and also he looking also after the temple in Dirga Jagannath. He also was helping us for our safari in Jagannath, in Jagannath Dirga. Also, by 11 o'clock is a lecture by His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinas Narasimha Swami Maharaj. It's a slot of half an hour. So, the next half an hour is a lecture by His Grace Bhagavatamrita Prabhu. Haribol, blessings. And 12 to 12:30 is by Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj. And then 12:30 to 1 is a safari cultural program. This is the morning session. Safari cultural program is a surprise. Okay, so we will not tell you the program because so many visitors are here, but we have a lot of dramas and musicals and dances. A lot of things are happening on the stage because 3,000 devotees are coming. We want to do a nice safari program on the stage, okay? Safari, we need the contribution of everyone. Then we have a break after this for lunch prasadam. We have a couple of hours break, and then we have some other cultural program. Something happened on the stage from our group from 2:30 to 3. Then they have about 3:30 they have lectures in the afternoon by Bhakti Vijay Swami Bhagavad Swami Maharaj. Also half an hour slots. They have 3. Another one by Bhakti Narasimha Swami Maharaj. And the last one on the evening session is by Bhakti Prachar Parivrajacharya Swami Maharaj. Then we have 1 hour. Our main cultural program will be in the evening from 4:30 to 5:30. And then they have a 20 minutes slot by His Grace Mahabharata Prabhu, who is the Chief Secretary of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, and then is the lecture by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. So you see, then by 7 o'clock will be Prashadan is over. Okay, this is the program on Sunday. You see, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, he wanted to come on the 12th with us, but he was not feeling so well on that day, so he stayed back in Mayapur. He had started some antibiotics actually about 3 days before. You know, his health has been always a challenge, and beside of the challenges, always he has been very supportive to all the preaching programs. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Jai Sri Radha Govinda ji ki. So I'm just about to say some prayers for him, and the altars open. No? So this is very auspicious actually, because if we devotees, we can chant for his good health all together. They chant three Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Can we do that? Okay, Hare Jai. One, Jai. Thank you very much. Many times His Holiness Jayapataka Swami said that he will recover always by the prayers of the devotees and by the blessings of the Lord. So your prayers are very, very needed. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So now, what we are doing now, Maharaj maybe can lead the way to Prabhupada's room, and then after this, Maharaj also continue to the next building. We go into our dinner place. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, please, Prabhuji, come for darshan.
Spanish called sign for.
Thank you.